Okay.
52nd Fire Wing Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Matthew Grains. Today's commencement speaker, Tech Sergeant Devin Williams and his wife, Tycho.
Yeah!
I'd also like to welcome all group, deputy group, and squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, academic officials, graduation candidates, family members, and friends. Thank you all for joining us today. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to have Technical Sergeant Devin Williams from the 52nd Force Support Squadron, Pittsburgh Airman Leadership School instructor as our commencement speaker. Tech Sergeant Williams began his Air Force career in December of 2003. He completed aircraft structural maintenance tech school in Pensacola, Florida in 2004. From there, he has been stationed at Devin Air Base, Okinawa, Japan, Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina, and deployed to Balad, Iraq, prior to coming to Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany. Technical Sergeant Williams has been assigned as an Airman Leadership School instructor here at Spangdahlem since December 2010. He earned his CCAF Associate's degree in Aviation Maintenance Technology in November 2009, and also a second CCAF degree in Instructor of Technology and Military Science in June of 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Technical Sergeant Devin Williams.
Yeah!
Good afternoon, Sector family. How y'all doing? All right. First, I just want to say thank you from Paul and Chief Grains for coming out here and showing your support throughout the very hectic days. Appreciate that. Also to all the squadron, to all the group commanders, all squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, thank you also for taking time out and showing your support for that huge graduating class over there. I know that they appreciate that as well. However, I need to say my largest thanks for this last group, this final group, since these are the individuals that supported the class the most, and that is all of our friends and our loved ones out in the crowd, so thank you. To all you graduates, friends, and loved ones, you were the ones who gave that much needed motivation while they were at work and encouraged them through those and after those 12 and 14-hour days. You're also the ones who took care of the kids while they were in class until 21:30 and came home with that stack of homework. You're the ones who tapped them on the shoulder while they were passed out on the coffee room table, or at the coffee table, with all their papers scattered everywhere next to their coffee mugs, and told them to go lay down in the bed and get some real sleep over there. You're the ones who patiently listened to that 10-minute speech on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The whole time you were wondering, why in the world is my spouse, my friend, my loved one giving a speech on making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Well, I remember why, because I remember I took speech class. Everybody that thought that those easy topics should be easy to give a speech on, right? Everybody can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so I should be able to make a speech on it. However, when you realized, or when they realized, that they could make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in only 3 minutes, that's when they dragged out every small detail just to reach that 10-minute mark, and you gave them their patience and listened to that whole entire thing. So thank you for that. The reason why all these graduates are sitting over here today is because of all of your support. So again, thank you. As for myself, I am very grateful to be speaking here today to the graduating class. Thank you to the First Sergeant's Council for inviting me here today. At first, I was actually reluctant to take on this invitation and to accept. Being a CCAF graduation guest speaker actually kind of frightened me. It's crazy if you think about it though. Honestly, I get up here every 5.5 weeks, perform our ALS graduations in front of the whole entire wing. Why would I be nervous about getting up here and speaking here in front of everyone? Well, it's actually, I was thinking about it while I was typing out this exact sentence. Yes, right now I am typing my unplanned thoughts, and hopefully I'll return to make some edits. Well, I discovered while I was fearful, I desire, in large capital letters, I desire to have what I say today influence somebody in this crowd. Or there's possibly somebody sitting over here to my left that feels the way that I felt whenever I earned my first CCAF degree, and I want them to leave here with a different mindset. If I fail in this next 10 minutes, this opportunity is going to slip from my grasp, and this speech just slips into that corner of your mind where everything else is forgotten. This afternoon, I'm speaking directly to you, graduates. I want you to hear my message. And if you're in the crowd, I hope that you take something from this as well, because we all have a next step. My preacher back in Sumter, South Carolina at Alice Drive Baptist Church was Clay Smith. He was a big old Southern gentleman. Almost exactly what I would imagine if I'd never been to South Carolina and I had to choose one out of a lineup. He wore a smile on his face every day, and he was the reason why I started finding myself in church more often than I had at any other time in my life. The message that he gave every Sunday was full of truth, and he could relate anything to our current struggles in our day-to-day lives. I never once heard a boring message from Clay. But you see, that wasn't all. The thing that stuck with me the most, the thing that will keep with me for the rest of my entire life, was the way that he would end his message. Every Sunday after he was done, he would ask the crowd, "What is your next step?" Of course, he was relating it to your faith and what you can do for God, but the application of that saying is endless. Now, this is my life motto. I apply this to everything that I do in life, and I also pose the same question to my students at ALS every graduating class. See, today is a very significant day for you all, and it marks a huge milestone in your lives and your careers. This was probably that next step that I was just referring to. Congratulations, graduates, you finally made it. Back in 2009, I was working on my CCAF, just probably not as actively as I should have. Earlier in the year, I completed ALS and earned my 6 credits towards management, and the only thing I left that I needed to take was my speech class. But the crazy thing is, why is that every graduate, most likely 70% of these individuals over here, save speech and math class for their final classes to take? You guys are laughing because you probably did it as well. Everybody wants to save it for last, and I couldn't figure out why. So I was starting to think about it. I'm taking a math class right now in college, and this is one of my reasons why. It's because it's terrifying to think that I actually did spend 4 years in math class in high school. But it feels like I've never attended any math class after middle school. I'm over here asking the instructors how to add and subtract fractions. That's the problem. As for the speech, it probably has something to do with in one study that a majority of the participants in that study, they said that they feared death over public speaking. Hopefully they don't take that route, however, that's what they said. This described me to the T, at least back in 2009. And the math part, like I said, it still surprises me. So anyways, I finally took my speech class, and I realized, you know what, it wasn't that bad. I completed 6 speeches ranging from 5 to 10 minutes, and it went pretty well, but it's also taken a lot of practice to get me here on this stage today. After I completed my final class, I went to the Education Center after a couple weeks, and I received my printout stating that I completed my CCAF degree. I was so stoked. I took my iPhone out of my pocket. As soon as I got to the car, took a picture of it and posted it all over Facebook and emailed everybody. It wasn't a degree, it was just a paper saying that I finished. But I was extremely happy. However, after talking to my coworkers and my supervisors back at the shop, it didn't seem like such a big deal at all. They made it seem like I just completed just a couple classes. You know, you get the credits from basic training in tech school and ALS. They said it's only a CCAF. So after that, I was thinking about my upcoming graduation. And the first thought that came to my mind was that typical college graduation, which everybody imagines, and everything that we get from the movies. You know, the backdrop of the campus, the large stage full of faculty members, the rows of students waiting for their diplomas, and also the large set of bleachers with their family and friends behind it. At that moment, I thought to myself, wow, there really isn't going to be any of that for me. And I automatically began downplaying my accomplishment. I felt as though just because there wasn't going to be this grand graduation, that it really was just a CCAF. Why should I even be upset that I was going to even miss my graduation? And at that moment in time, my CCAF degree became a piece of paper and a cool frame that I was going to hang on my wall. I wish somebody would have smacked me in the face and told me how significant it really was. I had pushed myself more than the majority of the Air Force has, and I busted my tail in order to complete all the classes that I had taken. I actually, during my freshman year, I took a 300 level class, but that was before I realized what those number designators meant. That was a wake-up call, to say the least. My goal was to finish my CCAF degree within my first 6 years, and I did it with 1 month to go. You see, one of the main reasons I joined was for those educational benefits. It's interesting Because if you think about it, there's all kinds of different individuals who join the Air Force. Some join for the pride of serving something bigger than themselves. Some want to defend our country. Some just want to get away from home. And some want that discounted education. But there are also those who just want a job in which that pays well and it doesn't require anything further than a high school education. What's amazing is that the Air Force trusts each of these high school graduates to maintain the entire aircraft fleet, where one jet alone costs $137 million. Currently, the only rank that requires you to have an associate's degree is a senior master and above. You see, if you think about it, you could possibly go your entire career without ever taking more than 2 or 3 classes, possibly even none. And that's an easy pitfall to fall into if you think about it after all those long hours at work, the deployments and the TDYs and all the other issues at the house. How great is it that we have so many of you sitting over here today, and that you did not just settle with being a high school graduate. Through all the late nights at work, the long class hours, and even longer study sessions, you persevered and you pushed your way through in order to make yourselves a better person. I want to share with you, with the crowd, some of these folks' stories and some of the things that what they went through to get here today. Staff Sergeant Joseph Godin, he was like me, and he struggled with math. His math class started the day after his squadron failed a very important inspection. We all know how that goes. 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, and he said that this continued for the entire 8 weeks. Senior Airman Spencer Kelly was a member of the Honor Guard when she was stationed in the States, and she was continually busy traveling around and performing official functions, all while she was trying to take some classes and trying to find some time to study as well. Sergeant Jorge Campbell's wife was pregnant while he was taking classes. That's all I gotta say about that, right? Think about it. Tech Sergeant Rodell Ramirez, though, he was working 2 jobs and had a brand new baby while he was taking his first 2 classes. Master Sergeant Kimberly Aguilar Salazar is a mother of 5. Her 5th child came 2 weeks late, which caused her to miss the first 2 weeks of class. Through her perseverance and her determination, she graduated and now is here today. Staff Sergeant Jason Dobson, he told me that his toughest time was during the pursuit of his degree, was while he took his math final, downrange, through 3 rocket attacks. Imagine the focus that it really takes to solve those really tough problems. Tech Sergeant Patricia Simmons is a single mother of a 10-year-old little girl, and she was 7 months pregnant while she was taking her final speech class. See, these are just a few examples of these individuals and the difficult times that these graduates would experience, but almost everyone said the most difficult part was the juggling act. Attempting to make time to study, make your spouse feel loved, and also get enough sleep for the next workday proved to be a constant struggle. For some of these individuals, it took a few years. For some of them, it took a little bit longer. But like John Lennon said, life is what happens whenever you're busy making plans. Things happen. Life gets in the way, and some plans are going to fall to the wayside. But no matter how tough it got from those individuals over there, they pushed their way through, and that degree will hang on your wall, not only as a piece of paper in a cool frame, but as a testament to your pursuit of greatness. To the graduates, I again say congratulations. You made it to your next step. But see, here's the catch. Although today is a day to celebrate, there is so much more. There's more out there calling your name. Do not be that graduate that is happy and content with what you have, or you'll be the same as that high school graduate and who says that they don't need to try anymore. Whether it's a bachelor's degree or master's, a professional certification, maybe learning a new job, put your all into it. Winston Churchill said, "To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and asked to do a very special thing unique to them and to their talents." What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest moment. Find out where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. Find that next step for yourself. This cannot be anyone else's decision. This has to be something that you want to do for yourself. But I want to challenge you that today. And I want to leave you with this final question. What is your next step?
Yeah!